Hello and welcome to another devlog episode of Runes of Aereal. So let me show you what I've been up to lately. Well, the first thing I'm going to show you is I've added a card called Chalice here. This card. The Chalice card is the first card that gains you 2 energy, just like that. So it does 2 things. First you gain 2 energy and then you gain 2 shield. But in order to do that, up until now we did not have a variable called cast energy, so we've added that. We set it to 2, and as well here the cast shield has been set to 2 as well. So furthermore, if we go to the command functions, I've also added something called cast energy, which should be somewhere around here. Here it is, cast energy. So we just pick the target and we set a variable, we add energy, we play some sound, and we play some effect. So this is a card energy, which of course is represented by a command in the command queue as well. Cast energy somewhere around here. Here we have it. So the cast energy function is also called in the use card function here. Use card. Let's see here. If cast energy larger than 0, then we queue this C card energy function. So let me show you what that looked like. And I believe it's my temporary settings here for the sandbox.
Fight.
So here we are, a Chalice. We play the Chalice.
And gory ally.
That's 4 energy and 4 shield here added. So it's 4 shield instead of 2 shield because this character has 2 defense, I think. Let's see, yes indeed. So the second thing I did is I took care of the fact that the keyboard settings, if I press the spacebar, that we get, then the turn will end, and also if I press the S for scrolls rather, I think there are no scrolls available. So if there were to be scrolls available, I could press the S for scrolls or the C for cards. That's because I can... What's happening? It's like... Okay, let me end that and go to the main menu. Where is it? Main menu. So I took care of an extra option, and in that extra option I can enable or disable keyboard shortcuts. It's here in the options. And also, if I play a sandbox, normally the battle menu, if I play some game, let's go again with the temporary sandbox configuration. And normally, let's just let that play out. And we can go here to the options, and here as well, keyboard shortcuts enabled or disabled can be done here from the battle menu, essentially. So also, extra thing I did is I've added an extra scroll, and it's called the regenerate scroll. So let's start a sandbox. I believe I have a configuration here, scroll regenerate. Let's go there.
Fight.
So we've got this regenerate, so we regenerate 1 health for 5 turns. So that's exactly what it says. So if you play it, there's an extra icon coming here. So the next turn, so we have 30 health right now. Let's end our turn.
Enemy turn.
Your turn. Now we have 17, and the next one will add. We would have 16, but we added 1 extra health because this regenerate will regenerate 1 extra health. So in order to do that, of course, let's go to the scrolls here and look into the scroll, and the scroll has a scroll type called regenerate. In order to show it, I've also added, let's show the HUD and unlock it so we can zoom in. There's also this sixth regenerate icon here, and if we go to refresh hero states, which is, let's go somewhere, refresh hero states, then you'll see that if the state is state regenerate, we will set the animation frame to state icon regenerate. So that's something we've added there. And also in the function next turn, let's see, in the function next turn, let's go to function, you'll see that if the regenerate is bigger than 0, and it's not the first turn, because that shouldn't count on the first turn, of course, then we add 1 health replace effect, and then we can refresh the hero states, of course. So I've also adjusted the sandbox here. You can see that here next to feeble, we've also got a regenerate option to start the combat with X number of regenerate. That's what we added as well. So then we've added 2 extra cards. 2 extra cards being this Damocles and Acid Rain. So Damocles, let's see what it does. Deal damage 7 times equal the amount of energy. So in order to do that, I have a special cost function equal energy, and the cost will be -1. So you can see that there's a little e here. That means that if, for example, I have 3 energy left and I deal that card, I will have 21 energy, 21 damage being dealt, because 3 times 7 is 21. So that's what's being done here. And I can go to FNU's cards here, and then I have a function here somewhere that's equal underscore energy. Let's see, here it is. So if there's damage to be done and it's equal energy, we start a repetition process. Start repeat is this function that repeats a certain command. In this case, it's cost card damage a number of times, and that number of times is the number of energy here. It does that using this card, using this target, and there's a delay between every time this is done. So it's going to be a separate video on this repetition logic here. I'm not going to elaborate on that one here, but do remember that this plays a card or plays an action command X number of times. So in this case, it's energy number of times. But of course, in order to do that, we have to change the pay cost here, because normally we just pay the cost of the card. But now, if the cost special function equals equal energy, we should pay the energy amount, of course. This also has repercussions when we rearrange the cards, because now at this time the cost is -1. So if we were to leave it alone, it would always be less than the number of energy, because at the lowest the energy can be 0, and -1 is always lower than 0. So we need to take that into account, that some cards deal amount of damage equal to the energy and have a cost of -1 in that case. So here we can call the function rearrange cards, and at the bottom you'll see that whenever the card cost is a -1, so in this case it's -1, we will only disable the card if the amount of energy is 0. Otherwise, that's the old logic, being if the card cost is bigger than the energy, then we'll disable it. So that's for this card. The last card I've implemented here is the Acid Rain card, also a little bit special. where we'll cast 3 venom to a random enemy 3 times. So the special part here is that the enemy is random in this case. We needed to change that here in the use card, because for venom we had a logic for repeat, but we also have the logic for random repeat. So in the case of random repeat, we need to have a target 0. This target 0 here in this case, if the target 0, that means that it's a random repetition. And if we go to the repeat function here, what we do is we set the target here to the repeat target, and instead of just picking whenever that repeat timer fires, which is here actually, what happens is, instead of just picking the repeat target, which wouldn't work because 0 would not be any target, of course, we just say if the repeat target is 0, meaning okay, at that time it is a random enemy, then we set a variable to continue, a variable which is 0 by default, and then we set it to 1, or if we can pick the enemy here and the enemy has larger than 0 health, we also continue. And if we can continue, then we do this command here. That's what we do. And then again here in cast venom, if we collapse this one, in cast venom we need an extra logic using a variable called target. If the current target is 0, that means that we can pick one random enemy. So we first pick all the enemies that have a health larger than 0, and within those enemies we pick a random one. And then we set this target, and if the target is not 0, this in this else branch, we just set the target to this target, and then here we pick this target. And then we do the venom thing, just like old times, and basically that just works like doing venom attack to a certain enemy. Instead, we just pick an enemy if that enemy is not specified. That's the only thing that happens here. So let's see how those 2 extra cards work. So remember, this is the Damocles, deal 7 damage equal to the end of my energy. Let's see how that works. I've got some configuration here for Damocles. Start the game.
Fight.
I've been dealt one here, so now the energy is 3, and so we have 7 damage. Once, twice, and thrice. So 3 times, and we have extra attack here because this one has attack level 1. So instead of 7, we had 9 in this case. So which is great. And then if we have this sandbox for acid rain here. So in order to do this acid rain tests, I've added this energy bow, start the battle with 1 extra energy, because we can then test it twice. To cast 3 enemy to random enemy 3 times. Once, twice, and 3 times. So that's also working as designed. So that's it. That's what I've been up to this past few days. I hope you liked it. As always, please like and subscribe for more videos, in-depth videos behind the scenes, for when you want to receive this game or even receive the full project of the game. Go to my Patreon site and support me. The links are in the description. Bye-bye.